It was very whimsical of her, probably just like writing it, be like, T, got a little devil inside, like just whimsical phrases that come up, and they're like, "Are you associating that Irish people are the devil?" I love when like these things just like go so far, and they're like months and months later, Sabrina probably saying no, and that's it. Like,
She clearly likes Irishmen.
who else was she with? I don't know any of her dating history.
I don't. Well, I mean, well, she's dating one now, so clearly she's not anti-Irishman.
Yeah,
She's like, I
yeah.
like me some Barry. Barry's got a pot of gold for me.
I
My
think that they should
Barry
come out
come.
with a flavor on her partnership called the Berry Berry Keoghan.
Mm.
Mm,
Taste his rainbow.
taste the devil.
Ooh,
It's the Pop Report.
so juicy.
Hey, girl.
Oh, hey,
Another week.
another one.
This time we've been broadcasting from abroad. I mean, aka I'm on another coast and you're back in
God,
Los
are you?
Angeles.
You're in cans.
I mean, what'd you call it earlier? What? Canis?
Okay,
Canis?
cane,
Canes? Raising Canes?
raisin canes.
Raising Canes. I love me a fucking chicken
I
tender.
thought it was pronounced canes because of like the accent or something. I don't know,
I
but
don't know,
it's
girl.
pronounced cans, like your big old cans.
Girl. How's your Pride Month going?
Fine, I guess.
Are you feeling prideful? How's your mattress?
I'm not a big pride person. I live pride every day. I feel like pride has now become for the straight people.
Mm, well,
You've been celebrating a lot of pride though.
yeah, this weekend I covered the LA Pride Parade with LGBT, which is a big prominent handle on Instagram and
Yeah.
very known for the gays. Went around, ran around, answered questions, asked questions of people who were on the parade route. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, but and now I'm here in the Outer Banks, not the Netflix show, the actual beach for a family vacation. So I'm dressed up in this little cottage room broadcasting to you live.
I love it.
Do you?
I do.
I also
You're
love
giving
you're also
me
wearing a Metallica shirt today, and I'm like, name three Metallica songs.
Okay, excuse you. People, well, actually, um, I will say that I have a Metallica shirt and I have a Nirvana shirt. And every time I wear my Nirvana shirt, people are always like, they're always like, you don't even know Nirvana songs, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I actually do know Nirvana. I'm not as big of a Metallica fan. I do like some Metallica, like Nothing Else Matters, classic.
Okay.
Enter Sandman, great song at the gym. Coach Dave always plays Enter Sandman.
I feel like that's
Um,
the commercial side of Metallica, but continue.
Listen, I'm a commercial bitch. Like I don't know, like hello, boom clap. Like that's who I am.
Hello.
I'm not gonna give you a deep cut from Metallica. I
I feel
like the
like
hit
this entire podcast is going to be referencing the fact that you've cited Boom Clap as a Charlie XCX song
every
that
week.
you stand by.
Every week. I stand by it. It's
Okay.
one of um
Her local faves.
her untapped gems. Yeah.
Did you say Uncut Gems? It is her Uncut Gems.
It is. It's
Well,
like one of those songs that's like underground that nobody really knows about. And she did Fancy with Iggy.
Zachary just learned that
Yeah.
the other week, and I'm very happy for you.
I'm
Um,
learning.
you are.
Today we have some Sabrina Carpenter news that I brought to the table.
Yes, you
She
did,
has a new
Zachary.
song out. Did you know?
Did you know it is number two on this Billboard Hot 100? I think it was. But anyway, I guess we should, if we're talking about news already, let's just get into our hot headlines, Zachary.
Wow, I guess I didn't have a weekend update. Let's just dive right in.
I asked you about your weekend.
You did not.
How was your weekend?
You asked me how my Pride month was going, and I told you I live Pride every single day, Andy. You
On to
did
the
not ask
news.
about my
On to the
week.
news.
On to the news. What's hot in the headlines?
Well, I saw a couple different things that are happening. I feel like this week has been slow, but also at the same time, this week's had like a lot going on. Um, there's this thing going on. I don't know if you've been following it, but I guess like we have a fantasy. I mean, speaking about Sabrina Carpenter earlier, this whole like rap boy fantasy, I've seen people like explain like what is rat
Yes.
boy. Uh,
Fascinated by this. I am riveted by this.
I'm
It's
not
called
into it.
it's Rat Boy Summer. And so
Mhm.
basically it's the summer of the rodent boyfriends because they're all the rage, right? Apparently, we're no longer into golden retriever boyfriends, which I didn't even know we were into. I didn't realize that's what I didn't I, dick is dick, right? And so golden retriever boyfriends are out, and golden retriever boyfriends are described as soft jocks. Like they're broy, they're jockey, they're muscly, they're like so sweet and they're like kind and you can pet them, but they're probably a little dumb, right?
I
But they're
mean,
out. They're not in anymore. Now it's all about the rodent boyfriend. And so hot rodent boys are known for their fine, pinched facial features. So their face is kind of like, pinched in, not usually muscular, but slender and sometimes wiry. I
and
don't
there
know what
are a few that have
sometimes
been trending
wiry.
lately,
What does sometimes wiry mean? I'm not entirely sure, but
like heroin chic.
hmm, not cute. Well, some examples are Mike
Mm-hmm.
Feist, and
Feist.
Oh, it is Feist. Okay, I pronounced that correctly. Josh O'Connor from the Challengers, Matt Healy, who's Taylor Swift's ex,
Oof.
most notably Taylor Swift's ex, Jeremy Allen White, who's the hunk from The Bear, and he was also in Shameless, and then he was in his underwear recently for what was it, like a Calvin Klein
Calvin
ad.
Klein campaign. Yeah, I was drooling.
So good. And then Tom Holland is one of the Rat Boys. He was Spider-Man.
And then there's
Barry
Timothy
Keoghan.
Chalamet, Barry Keoghan.
Keoghan. Yeah.
People can't pronounce his last name
Okay.
for sure.
But
I don't agree. I agree with all of those except
except
for
Jeremy Allen White.
yeah, Mr. Yes Chef is a little thicker.
He's thicker. He's muscular. Also, you know who was on the list?
Ooh,
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell's not a rat man.
But I think it's less about the body and more about the face because they have the real tiny eyes and the face is like squinched in.
Pointed. I don't
Like
know.
the nose is a little pointy and the eyes are kind of small. And so, I like if you like Glenn Powell, if you put him in that category and you line him up, you're like, okay, he's the most attractive rat, but
He's
you
like
know,
rodent adjacent, but like I wouldn't call Glenn Powell a like rat boyfriend. I would call him like maybe like a what's like a big rat? Like what's a big like a
a
possum?
muskrat, a possum, not a possum. Possums are ugly.
Oh, they're cute.
Possums are so ugly.
They are not actually.
So
Um,
then you're into rat boys.
I'm into Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, do
I was
you find
watching, he did a video where he was showing us everything that's in his kitchen and all of his workout routines. And I've been very fascinated by Glenn Powell, but I've been a fan of Glenn Powell since he was on Scream Queens.
yeah. Also, do you find any of these men attractive or like this will probably haunt us like later when we interview one of them, but do you like fancy
No,
these men? Not your type.
no. Glenn
Mm.
Powell and Jeremy Allen White are the two that I would find attractive. I don't like little wiry men. Like I don't want a little boy. Like I want,
It's like
I'm
that
not
song that's
attracted
like
to,
what's that song? It's like I don't want no short dick man. Like it makes me
yeah,
think of that. Like
yeah.
I don't know though. I don't find any of them attractive. I mean, not that they're
No.
not attractive, but people obsess over Timothy Chalamet, and I'm like, I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't get what Kylie sees in him. But also, she dated Travis Scott, and he was not attractive either. Like
Can we talk
Travis
about
and
the
Timothy are
range?
not my the yeah. I mean, they're
Of
both a little like wiry, right? Because they're like slim and slithery.
Twinkified. Twink is that is this the equivalent of saying like twink
I
straight man?
wouldn't I wouldn't call them twinks. Twinks have like a cute charm to them, like a boyish charm, whereas like they're just like
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland is a twink.
Okay. Timothy
Yeah.
Chalamet.
He's twinkish. I guess, yeah, Travis Scott would also be a little twinkish,
If
I
you aren't
guess.
gay or don't know what the word twink is, please look it up. I don't think I have to explain for Pride Month. We don't have to explain twink. You need to look it up.
Well, it's just like a young looking, more slender, boyish type of gay. And twink comes from the ancient word Twinkie, which is normally,
Wrap
lanky and
lanky.
filled with cum or filled
The
with cream. Sorry.
the ancient word of the streets of Walmart.
Yeah.
Happy Pride. Um, interesting hot take. But
Do
also,
you feel like you're out of your twink era?
I feel like a twink, as I've seen with all people and like these forums online, that a twink evolves eventually to like as you get older, your metabolism changes and like your just structure changes. But I think I'm out of it. Like I think there was a twinkified area of my life.
Yeah, I feel like you've become less twinky since your breakup. You're like revenge bod, Khloe Kardashian at the gym. You're like, oh, look at my muscles. Oh, I got a big dick now. Oh, I have a
Wait, you
beard.
can't
Like,
do you can't change dick size though. Like that doesn't happen. Like
yeah, but
that's just
the energy is different. You don't have like little twink energy
I had
anymore.
little twink energy. How dare you
Like,
accuse? How dare you? And I apologized.
I didn't. I said what I said and I stand on it.
And you step on that neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like uh yeah, at least physically I'm out of my twinkified era in a way, but I think like emotionally I've always been very headstrong and very diligent, if that
Very
makes sense.
emotional.
Do you have
Yeah.
a twink era?
I'm hoping I'm getting out of my twink era.
I
Like
don't think
I've
you're in it.
no. Was I
Mm-mm.
in my twink era when you met me?
Before before photos, like 2018 to 2022, I think you're deep in it.
So by the time became friends, what was I if I was no longer a twink at that point?
I think you were in transition phases.
Okay.
Yeah. At least for like it's hard to look back at it. You know, it's hard to like reflect and like
So what would you consider me now?
I mean, otter.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Anyway, speaking of otters,
But wait, but so we're you're for the rat boy summer or you don't like the I also just think it's a little derogatory to say somebody looks like a
yeah,
rat.
who wants to be known as a rat? No
Yeah,
one. No one likes rats. Like,
especially if you're in the mob.
I know. Well, other headlines that have brought us to this week include I think I saw Prince Harry's moving. Speaking of other rat boys, is he a rat boy? Um, he's moving to the UK or wants to move. Like, did you tell me about this or what's going
He
on?
wants to move to the UK. So right now, him and his boss, Meghan Markle, they live in Montecito and they have a $14 million home, which I don't know how they're able to afford that because they apparently can't afford security. But so now he wants to get a home base in the UK. So he wants to move back to the UK and kind of at least have a part-time home over, where
Over
he came
yonder.
from. Yeah, over the pond because apparently he has a lot of friends and a lot of friends that he misses and wants to see, but they don't like Meghan Markle, so they're not going to come over here because they don't really want to see Meghan Markle and they don't really like LA. So he's like, okay, well, at least if I live in the UK part time and I have a home base, then I can leave Meghan here and she can do her Hollywood thing, and
Leave
then
her
I'll
with the
go have
kids.
boys. Yeah, and he'll have boys time
It's like
in the
his
UK.
boys trip, you know?
Yeah, it's
Maybe
quite
that's
a
the way
long
maybe
boys
that's
trip,
what we
but
should treat it. Every boy needs their space or else they go crazy.
yes. So that's what he wants to do. He wants to have his boy time in the UK. But then some people, like some of the royal correspondents and royal experts are also saying that it's possible that this is how he may try to fight to get security reinstated when he's in the UK is because if he lives there part time, then he's a royal family member that lives in the UK and that it's possible that he may try to fight for them to pay for his security. I don't think that they should pay for his security because he's not an active member. He
Yeah.
actively left the monarchy. So
I mean, I feel like we're bringing back the hot takes in the front of this show. Like, I feel like Meghan and Harry get the brunt of like everything. They're always in the news. They're always talked about, even if they make like a decision to eat toast one morning, they are just like exploited on every gossip tabloid. And so if he's even like considering a move or like trying to be closer to, I mean, he's away from all the family too. If he's like, you know what, I'm getting older, let me try to like
by
bridge these ties.
choice, by choice.
But maybe he said I did a wrong and I need to like olive branch this and split my time a little bit.
Maybe let's hope he's having a come to Jesus moment because he kind of burned all his bridges with the UK that I'm surprised to hear that he's even considering going back to the UK.
I know. I know. Well, we wish him well. You
We
know,
do.
we do wish him well. We don't
Is
know
that
too
all
much
our
what Megan's trying to do in the future, but we wish him well.
Yeah, we wish him well. Megan's got what she wanted. Um, is that all we have for the hot and headlines?
Yeah, I think that's enough. I think I want to talk about Sabrina Carpenter, honestly, because you talked about that earlier, and I'm like, bring it back. Like, I wanna talk about music and like,
So, well, actually, did you hear that Sabrina Carpenter is coming out with an ice cream?
wait, what?
She is coming out with an ice cream, and it is launching, I believe,
Is it
on
at Air One?
No, June 28th
Okay,
is
what?
when
Where is
she's
it
launching her
debuting?
new ice cream. It's with, do you know there's a vegan ice cream brand called Van Leeuwen?
Van Leeuwen. Yeah,
It's Van Leeuwen, but they have an extra E in there. What, for the fun of it?
girl, I don't eat that ice cream, but go on, I will eat it if Sabrina
It's
Carpenter's
good.
on it.
No, it is good. They've sent me ice cream before, and it is really good. I like that they have pistachio vegan ice cream because pistachio vegan ice cream is really hard to find. And so I will give them kudos for that. But anyway,
Caduce? Mm,
kudos. Um,
Caduce.
Van Leeuwen ice cream, they're doing a collaboration with Sabrina Carpenter, and they're guess the flavor. They're doing a special flavor with her. Guess it.
Espresso. I was like Barry Keoghan's
Yes.
bathtub water, but I was like too soon.
Yes. Espresso flavored ice cream that is dropping on June 28th.
I'll buy it.
It's
Maybe
me.
we'll maybe we'll have to do like a little taste test review and post it on like our stories and shit. Like, here's me trying the espresso by Sabrina Carpenter's espresso.
Hey,
I'll actually
yeah.
try it though. I love coffee ice cream.
It's,
Also things I also love. Um, I don't mind her new music video. You know,
wow. That
I
is
don't
quite that's the glowing review from Andy Lalwani.
I don't mind
I
it. I
don't
think it
mind
could
it.
have gone further, but I don't mind it. I think it was a good marketing ploy of like she brought in Barry Keoghan, who has blown up through Saltburn. Also, everyone's followed the potential dating of the two of them. He's been at every single concert of hers almost and just, tried to hide his identity. But she said, take it front and center. She really made this music video as a continuation of her previous Espresso music video because at the end she said she got arrested and she wanted to continue that storyline of being arrested. So this music video she was thrown into jail. So that was the continuation, but she wanted to play the okay, if I fall in love in jail, what happens? So
And the
interesting
song,
take.
so she has her new single, and it's called "Please, Please, Please," right?
Yeah, and there's a big trend too of people because they've also rallied around the Barry Keoghan part, it has blown up. There's also a trend people are making fun of the song where Sabrina goes, motherfucker, at like a bridge or like a part of the uh lyrics, and she goes so deep that everyone's like, this doesn't sound like Sabrina Carpenter, and they just make their own little things like when you pick up a plate and it's too hot, when you like trip on your shit. So I find it funny that already this song has taken off of just whimsicalness. Like you have different
Of a TikTok trend.
arcs and fandoms of the song. Be like, oh, I saw it from TikTok. Oh, I follow it because of Barry Keoghan. Oh, I follow it because I loved espresso.
Yeah. Did you hear that some people are saying that the some of the lyrics of the song may be anti-Irish?
What does that mean?
Well, according to the Irish Star,
Oh my God.
okay, the Irish Star, because Barry is Irish
Got it.
and because the song is about Barry and because there's a line, okay, these are the lyrics. She writes, I heard that you're an actor, so act like a stand up guy. Whatever devil's inside you, don't let him out tonight. I tell you, it's just your cult. I tell them it's just your culture. Everyone rolls their eyes. So because he's Irish and she has the line, I tell them that it's just your culture, with that you have a devil inside you, and everyone rolls their eyes. They're saying, "Oh, is she making fun of Irish people because they typically have drinking problems?"
Oh, wow. I've never,
It's
hmm,
quite the stretch. So
quite
whoever
the
came up with this
stretch.
one, I hope they didn't like throw their back out with that stretch. But I thought that that was an interesting little tidbit that I saw in the news today.
It was very whimsical of her, probably just like writing it, be like, T, got a little devil inside, like just whimsical phrases that come up, and they're like, are you associating that Irish people are the devil? I love when like these things just like go so far, and they're like, months and months later, Sabrina probably saying no, and that's it. Like,
She clearly likes Irishmen.
who else was she with? I don't know any of her dating history.
I don't. Well, I mean, well, she's dating one now, so clearly she's not anti-Irishman.
Yeah.
She's like, I
Yeah.
like me some Barry. Barry's got a pot of gold from me.
I
Like
think that they should
Barry
come out
come.
with a flavor on her partnership called the Berry Berry Kyogen.
Mm.
Mm,
Taste his rainbow.
taste the devil.
Oh,
Mm, they could market, they could play into it.
oh,
Um, speaking of I need to get better at my transitions.
yes, you do.
Um, I know. Of other music news though, did you see
No,
what had happened at Govball? Anything of the acts or like any social clips?
no.
So, if you haven't been keeping up with an artist named Chapel Roan, here is your quick history debrief.
Okay, tell
So
me.
she has been exploding at least in the past 6 months for a ton of reasons, but a lot of
Okay.
people aside from Sabrina Carpenter are very invested in Chapel Roan right now. So Chapel Roan is an artist who's come up lately for her new album that has come out. She has had a 10 years in the making process where she originally started on YouTube as her birth name, her real name, uploading covers. And she was signed to a record label at one point and basically got dropped. So at the end of the 2010s, she put out a few singles, she got dropped. But the person she produced the music with was a guy who actually went on to produce for Olivia Rodrigo. And so when Olivia Rodrigo's album came out, it was the highest performing solo album for a female at like their first album debut that she had such a like obvious difficult time coping with it because she had to move back home to Missouri, I think it was, wherever the state she was from. She was dumped in her partnership of 4 years, and the person that she worked with is now too busy to work with her. So she had to
Oh,
start over at one point. So people were very invested in her saga, but
God.
it really does show who you know because in this tale of Chapel Roan, she, after the breakup, put out her single My Kink is Karma, and her producer she worked with actually said, hey, I think you would be amazing to be on tour for Olivia Rodrigo and be the opening act. So she was put on the tour. She's had like this great comeback, like saga. And also, it really shows everything is 10 years in the making. And she is just dominated since being on tour. She put out her album um, at last, like after a new label publishing, she's with a new label, but she left the tour early to perform at Coachella. And she has made a lot of moves. So after her Coachella performance, she saw a huge, huge, huge spike in listeners on Spotify. She was coined of like a phrase she put on stage of like, I'm your artist's favorite artist. I'm your dream girl's girl. Like, and so people would just share this phrase of like, she is so funny, she is witty, she has learned her makeup from drag queens. But that brings me to what happened this week at Govball.
What
She
happened this week
handled
ago?
very Gaga energy, and she came out of an apple dressed as Lady Liberty holding a
Mm.
blunt.
Oh,
And she addressed that for Pride Month, the White House had come to ask her to perform. And she said, until there is unity and real justice and freedom for people, that is when I'll come. That is when I'll come to the White House. So people are
well,
like,
that's never gonna happen.
we'll see.
That's never gonna. You're never gonna have perfect unity for everyone because you're always gonna have somebody that's gonna be
Whatever
like, "Oh, that song by Sabrina Carpenter is anti-Irish. I feel marginalized."
whatever that is in Chapel's vision, she'll do it, but she has just been catapulted like into stardom. Like she is having these like big viral moments. So I think like to round out our music is really people are focusing on Chapel Roan and like what she's doing, and she is really a hot up and coming artist. And some people are very much calling her performances very similar to like Gaga has been resurrected, or like this is Gaga in Gen Z form. But people are obsessed with her. So I'm gonna educate you,
Cute.
Zach, and say, listen to some Chapel Roan. That's my long
Sure.
tail. That was
That
too
was
long of a tail.
you really sold her. I was
I
like,
really
wow,
did.
she
I really did. I watched the
like
TikTok rabbit hole.
for just peaking at Coachella. You really had a real history down.
She has a single called Hot to Go, um, Naked in Manhattan, Red White, Red Wine Supernova. You might have
Mm,
heard of a few of them,
I
but
think I've heard of Red Wine Supernova.
yeah, like they're all very catchy and they're very similar to Olivia Rodrigo vibe of like camp-esque, like people singing like the lyrics as a group, like very campy vibes.
Okay.
But it makes sense with the producer she's worked with, makes sense for like her tale. She did a great concert on the not the BBC. What is it? What is it? What's the radio that we have in the US that used to be like big but it's not anymore?
I don't know. NPR.
Yes, Si Senor. She did an
Ah, I
NPR
got it.
Tiny Desk. It's funny because I'm from DC
Is
and I had a
NPR
blank.
not NPR is not a thing anymore?
I mean, it's just had its issues. Public radio's up and down.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
believe that
but
listens to NPR.
I think I need to curb my conversation there because I think I took up most of our music mayhem for the week. But yeah,
Yeah, selling us on Chapel Rose.
Chap- Chapel Home.
That's it.
Um, yeah. So if you haven't checked her out, there's a lot of things that have happened this week in music, and I think you should definitely give that one a listen.
Okay, I gave Sabrina Carpenter a listen this week. I will give her a listen for next week or for Friday's episode. I'll make sure I come cultured.
Cultured. In the watch or skip department, there have been a couple things that are hitting the news cycle. I don't know if you got to sit and watch the first installment, but Inside Out 2 just debuted and it opened with an $85 million opening, which is
Wow.
projected to help Pixar get out of this flop era of like the money they need, especially they had a roughly over 10% like staff reduction and more just of like title releases. So Amy Poehler um, and Ayo Edebiri and a few others are like voiced in the cast as well as Maya Hawke. But I haven't seen Inside Out personally. I've heard nothing but great things. So before I watch the second, I need to watch the first. But I would
I
give it a
like
watch.
Inside Out.
Did you watch it?
I did. I like they've had some good well, I mean, I also feel like Pixar's they've had like the um direct to Disney Plus movies, so they haven't had like box office numbers. But I also feel like not as many people are going to the movies anymore. Like people want to stream at home or they're waiting for a theatrical release to end up on a streaming platform. That way they can just watch it from home. So, I mean,
When was
that's
the last?
impressive though for them to do 85 million in
Yeah,
theaters. Like they got people to show up and show out for the Inside Out 2. Like I'm impressed. I
I'm
want to see it
impressed
now.
too, but when was the last time you also went to the movies? Because I can't tell you off the top of mind.
No, we've never gone to the movies. Barbie, I think, was the last one I saw. Damn, that was last summer.
Damn. No, you and I went to watch
We did.
that Dan Levy movie.
We saw
That
the
was a
damn.
Netflix
Yeah, we
release
did.
though.
I was like, wait, we did. I was like, I feel like that. Did I make that up? Yeah, we. That was the last thing I saw in a theater.
In a theater. Yeah, same. But something also came up in the headlines today about King Charles's mural being defaced with a
Oh God.
Wallace and Gromit like picture. Like they put like a face of one of the characters and like this phrase, but it ties into there's a new Wallace and Gromit movie coming out
Hmm.
later this year for Christmas. So I think that like
Great
that
marketing.
that claymation style movie, iconic. Like Chicken Run was iconic. Um, but I think because of that, it has more people interested in this movie because of that activist protests about King Charles. So I think I will also give that a watch because I want to see what else comes up of like just people know who Wallace and Gromit are, like the chickens or like the penguin. Like people know this claymation style. And so
Yeah.
I think it's nostalgic from when I was a kid and I went to the movie theaters and watched the movie with my babysitter, who was my mom's friend. But I thought that was interesting too with current events and how King Charles is tied into the marketing.
Yeah. I mean, good for him. He's not gonna. He doesn't have many years left, so might as well get all the press he can get.
Got all the press, girl. And last but not least, I don't know if you've watched The
The Wolf's
Boys on
Corner. Oh,
Amazon.
I don't
It
know
is
what that.
chaotic,
What
literally
is?
chaotic. It's a
What is?
superhero series that basically is the public. of the world saying, what if the superheroes were just really, really horrible people? So take everything you know about
Oh,
superheroes and make them like the worst people behind the scenes. So it has comedy. It's been on for Prime Video for quite some time, but season
oh, that's
four,
why I've never seen it.
okay. Prime Video just announced, or the showrunner just announced, that season five will be the last season, and people are madly in love with this series. Has some
Wow.
hot podcast members. But also it is funny. It is rated R. It is something that I need to binge more of. I've only gotten through the first two seasons, but surprised to hear.
Uh, I mean, it sounds like a great show. If it were on a platform I actually watched, I would actually tune into it.
I love you so much.
But did you see that on Peacock, Love Island is about to return and they just released their new promo with their new host, Ariana Madix?
I thought the promo was campy, like not in a good way.
It was long,
It
right?
was long and awkward. I was like, why are we so far away? Why are these shots so panned back?
She's killing it. Of course, we want to replace Sarah Hyland with Ariana Madix because she's a host. We didn't give her that just because she got her heart broken.
Yeah. Speaking of, there's the transition. Moving on to heartbreak and my achy breaky heart. Baby boy, did you see what just happened with Billie Ray Cyrus?
Yes. Also, I'm very confused as to why his wife didn't have a last name and why her first name is Fire Rose.
Would you like to take the lead on this story? Because I've talked enough for this episode.
Well, yeah, because you cut the rest of my stories. So, Billy Ray Cyrus is has filed for divorce, and not only is he ending his relationship with Fire Rose, who he's been married to less than a year, but he filed an annulment for saying that the marriage was a fraud.
What does that mean, though? Like,
That's what everybody wants to know. What do you mean the marriage was a fraud? How did she deceive you? Did you really believe her birth name was Fire Rose and now you feel deceived?
they also had a very large age difference from what I remember. And she was a contestant, I think. Oh, no, no, no. She appeared on Hannah Montana. Is that correct?
She,
Previously?
I don't know. Did she appear on it or did she? I know she worked on Hannah Montana. I don't know if she was like a guest star or what she did exactly, but I know that's where he originally met her was on the set of Hannah Montana.
Yeah. And so people have definitely had some like, okay, their timeline is, long
Is she?
winded, but
Yeah,
this timeline of their marriage is 7 months. So something behind the scenes really just went like
drugs.
haywire. And also, what's been going on with like the Cyrus's mother
That is a
remarrying.
whole hot mess express.
Noah Cyrus obviously having previously dated this person, the family taking sides with certain parents. Miley has been obviously doing Miley. Um, it's been, I feel like, between Jennifer Lopez and the Cyrus family, I feel like they're kind of competing for like who's having a hard year in a way. Like,
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
I feel for the family though, like whatever they're going through, of course, but it is just it's very confusing. It's very confusing to be as a viewer and all these headlines are coming out and to announce a divorce and just to have confusion already of why someone's separating, but confusion of what happened, you know, like especially with the headlines that have come out about the family.
well, yeah, especially Trish. Like she's over there dating Noah's ex that she apparently stole from Noah, and then Noah was mad, and then Miley hosted the wedding, and then Noah was going to show up to the wedding and cause mess, but then she didn't end up showing up to the wedding because they had security to block her. Crazy. And then now we find out that Billy Ray Cyrus and his, you know, fairy from the woods are not making it anymore because she frauded him somehow. It's wild. I just remember all the photos that they would post, and she would like do real heavy filtering on it to the point where like I'm like, who is that? And Billy Ray Cyrus has just been looking really rough these last couple of years, so he's going through it.
His Instagram
He
was
looks
real
like he looks like Captain Jack Sparrow.
his Instagram was real bleak, and then he posted like one thing about a new song or something and then this divorce news. Like, I
It
don't
came out of
know.
nowhere because I think like in April they were just like posting like lovey-dovey, or she posted like a lovey-dovey post with him or something. And now like it just I really want to know what she did. Maybe she previously dated Noah Cyrus as well.
That would
And
be a
that's where
plot
he feels
twist.
like the fraud was, because he's like, I didn't know you dated Noah too.
I didn't know you knew Noah. I thought this daughter of mine was someone you never knew.
Mhm.
I don't know.
What
Well,
else is going on?
I don't know. Is there anything? I didn't realize I cut your stories. What stories did you have that you want to talk about in
My
our last little
groundbreaking
minutes?
Taylor Swift story, but it's okay.
Oh, did I accidentally do? I didn't even know that was. What's a groundbreaking Taylor Swift story? We have another 2 minutes, but what's the TLDR
It's
version?
fine.
You don't
It's
want to
fine.
talk about it.
No, I don't want to talk
Oh,
about
was
it.
it the Trump one? Trump
Well,
calling
no,
her.
it was that she had a cuckoo crazy fan that got arrested for voyeurism, and then Trump gave her a shout out, but he's not a Swiftie. He's like, she's really beautiful, but I hear that he's like, but I don't know any of her music, but I hear she's talented. So he
What
was
a
like trying
weird
to be
week.
nice.
What a weird week of
It is a
politics
weird week.
and music.
Like,
And
just, I never thought I would see Taylor Swift and Donald Trump in the same headline. It was just, it's been one thing after another.
I know. And that's basically the end of our episode too. Like, what a weird. I
Didn't
feel like it
something
was a
happen with
weird
J-Lo?
cluster of just headlines.
There
Just
wasn't anything new with J-Lo and Ben. Weren't we talking about that?
eh, they're
They're
trying to.
selling their
They're
house?
officially selling their house. That's the only update. They remain amicable. They see each other every few
Mm,
days. Today
that's
was
what
just
y'all say.
wasn't pulling teeth, but I'm like, what are y'all doing? That's like the theme of this episode is what are y'all doing?
They're done. They're ending. It's over.
Everybody's over. Seems
Yeah.
like it.
It's not the summer of love. It's the summer of heartbreak. I feel like
It's.
every time we have a new couples corner alert, it's always a breakup
I know.
or a speculation of a breakup. We need some better couples news that's like
Let's
happy.
pray. Let's pray for something really nice in our next episode. Pray for the
Oh,
couples.
Amber Portwood. Do you know Portwood from Teen Mom?
Nope.
She's from Teen Mom, and she just got engaged recently. And then today it was reported that her fiance has gone missing.
Oh my God.
That's a
Okay.
couples court
Well,
update. On that note, thank you guys for tuning into the Pop Report. We'll be back this Friday, so be sure to leave us a nice review on Apple Podcasts, a nice review on Spotify. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below and let us know, what do we want them to let us know?
let us know what
Do you
couple
think
you want us to
Andy's
start
still a
talking about.
twink?
Let us know.
Would
Let
you
us
eat
know.
that? Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll stay safe. We'll talk to you soon and stay tuned to the Pop Report.
Bye.
Bye.
Sucks to pick for pride.
That too.